So we're here for another episode of Core Reviews. Once every month, we are going to review a film, whether it's an old film or maybe a film that just came out. And for the month of May, we chose to do an old classic, The Matrix.
You have to see it for yourself.
Woo!
And why did we pick Matrix?
Because one of us, D3, has apparently never seen the whole thing all the way through.
So you're allegedly saying that I had 24 years to watch this movie and I never watched the whole thing is what you're saying.
That is correct.
Interesting.
And the fact that it took you till college to even watch part of it is also just a crying shame.
I do not understand because we grew up in the same house. Really don't understand. He had to actively try not to watch this movie.
I just never did. It was just never one of my movies that I was like, I want to watch it.
It's been parodied so much that I can't believe it. Just piquing your curiosity of like, let me see what all this hype is about.
It never ever would cross my mind to watch that movie.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
And I finally watched it.
Oh wow! Beyond me, folks.
No, just never was a movie I was curious about.
So we're going to go ahead and dive into it, our thoughts on it. Before we start, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and comment below. So guys, let's get into it. Matrix came out in 1999. It was directed and written by, at the time, the Wachowski brothers, now the Wachowski sisters, obviously starring Keanu Reeves, as well as Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Hugo Weaving. So guys, what were our overall just thoughts on it?
Oh, it was good. I liked it.
It floored me as a child watching this. It floored me as a child.
I was shocked because I'd seen like parodies of this before I had watched this the whole way through. So then when I learned where all these parodies came from, I was like, oh, it came from The Matrix? Interesting.
I do think for some people who didn't grow up watching it, all the parodies may make it seem cheesy if they were to watch it back. When it first came out, totally was a different viewpoint. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Because I didn't see it till like 03. I think.
How do you people not see it when it comes out? I don't understand.
Y'all wait so long.
I somewhat knew about the movie, but I just it was never on. It wasn't until we got this movie channel that I could see all of them.
Yeah, and you saw this greatness.
Yeah, like that was really good.
I wonder when the last time this happened. The two sequels coming for our franchise coming out in the same year.
That was a big mistake, though.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, what was your thoughts for seeing it for the first time all the way through?
I thought it was a really good movie. It was no John Wick, Keanu Reeves superior franchise.
Bobby, you cannot expect anything to be like the.
I know. I'm just saying that if you compare franchises of Keanu Reeves, John Wick is far superior.
Yeah,
Wait,
the
John Wick?
Matrix has more stay power and is more culturally relevant. But it's a better. But
That's only because it's been out for 24 years.
You cannot speak on John Wick because you have not watched it.
And plus, like I said, Matrix has 24 years. John Wick has like 7 years. You can't compare it.
Like, we're not here to debate John Wick versus Matrix. So I'm trying to be on your side, but if you keep trying to go after John Wick, we might have a problem.
Tell your boy to lay off the Matrix.
If you compare it to the all-time great action movies, this is on the A tier, not S tier, but an A tier, which is still great, but not quite the status of some of the legendaries like a T2, of course, John Wick, Predator. It's not that tier. It's a step below.
Max, get your boy. See, he keeps doing this.
I mean, he is trying to entice a reaction. I agree.
I am just stating a fact.
I think this movie was perfectly cast. Hugo Weaving was the perfect Agent Smith.
Oh, yes.
But to reference the Will Smith Val Kilmer thing, it was Val Kilmer as Morpheus and Will Smith as Neo, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Could you imagine Val Kilmer as Morpheus? I simply can't.
He just doesn't have the smooth. It's just a different level of acting.
Yeah, I just don't see it at all.
It really would have had to be a different movie. Both of them, just the charisma Will Smith gives off, especially at that time. And
he needed like someone who can't really act all that great, and Keanu was just perfect for it because he's not absolutely terrible. Well, sometimes, and he's not. He's never going to be a fantastic actor. I thought he was good for it.
Very much so. They do a really good job in the movie of establishing the characters early. Like with Trinity and her being kind of like, and being a badass, they kind of show you real early, like when she's fighting all the police when they're coming to get her. The first scene with the interrogation scene with Agent Smith, amazing job of being terrifying.
I want my phone call. And tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?
He's not doing anything villainous, but just the way he's talking and the way he's like just addressing Neo at the beginning. Yeah, let's kind of get more into this. All right. So in the beginning, you got the whole you wake up with Neo, and it establishes he's very good with computers. He is a hacker of sorts, and it talks about the White Rabbit. So we start off with that, and then we go into the club. Very like 90s nostalgia.
So rave.
Absolutely 90s.
Rave.
And he meets Trinity for the first time. And she talks to him about how he's kind of felt like he's searching for something or searching for someone. Kind of that little first tidbit of like, oh, there's more to this. They've been looking for Neo. He wakes up and he's back into his office. And it's funny because you said it right during our watch of this, Vitamin J, and I remember you're like the Dave Chappelle skit, which that also came to my mind as well when they first showed that.
There's a black man sitting at a desk directly to your right. Look at him.
Morpheus?
Psych! It's Earl. I need your stapler.
Dude, you totally got me.
If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's pretty funny. And then we are introduced with Agent Smith. What did we think of that scene?
From the get-go, the first time you see Mr. Anderson, you know that this man is going to cause some problems.
Very true. And like just the whole time he's talking, just his tone and everything, you can just feel it. Like this guy's he's intimidating without having to be intimidating.
It seems that you've been living two lives. In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. You have a social security number, you pay your taxes, and you help your landlady carry out her garbage.
Just the way he speaks, you're just like, oh, crap.
And I think that was a smart, like I was talking earlier, smart film choice, because I feel a lot of times they would show us he's intimidating, like have him do something, like kill somebody. In it, they also, he wants his phone call. You kind of see Neo's defiance, and he asks for his phone call.
He's not going to like Agent Smith's answer to that. When you tell someone, when he asks, what about my phone call? And he says, why would you need a phone call if you can't speak? And then his skin grows over his mouth. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Think about it. That scene can mess you up. That is two crazy things in that scene. Because right after that, they put this little tracking device that has like a octopus or whatever on it and just burrows right in his belly button.
Totally normal.
Yeah, totally normal. Totally. They play it up though right after that happens because then he wakes up and like, did that really happen?
I remember first time watching them as they're like getting that thing out of his stomach. I was just like, ew. As you see it kind of crawling in there and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
And then we go and we meet Morpheus and we get to see him for the first time. So what do we think?
It's glorious. I mean, iconic look. I mean, really nailed it.
Pulling that look off.
Frameless shades this man's put on. That's how confident he is in his wardrobe.
The look does do wonders. And then when he sits down with Neo, explaining to him everything, he's really pulling off. I'm a pretty cool guy.
He's also breaking Keanu's mind with the stuff he's saying. Changed his whole perception of reality. And then, of course, we get the iconic red pill, blue pill scene where people meme it a lot.
We all probably would have taken the red pill, just mere out of curiosity.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
after you see the, yeah.
I just saw a robot squid come up my belly button, so I think I'm not safe wherever I'm at.
You shouldn't want to come back unless you're Cypher.
So, I was waiting to go in on Cypher when Phil gets to depart, when he does what he does.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Neo takes the red pill. We see that whole scene with him touching the mirror. He's unplugged and, falls in, and luckily they find him.
He's in the real world, and that scene's kind of gross, too. It grossed me out as a kid. I didn't like that scene at all.
Same.
And basically what he found out is that they are using humans as batteries.
Which I think they said the humans would be a terrible A terrible battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, the robots.
Yeah, they said we don't
It's-
produce
it's-
enough.
It's just pure dominant play. It's a dominance
Mm.
play. It's not like they don't
Yeah, I
actually
think-
need the electricity. It's just to prove the dominance.
Yeah, I think they said that we will use more electricity than we will give to run that type of system.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that.
Someone needs to construct it and put humans in these pods, and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I think that'll break so many international
Bobby,
laws.
let's
I don't think they'll
let's not rule it out, Bobby. It could happen in our lifetime. AI is
Come
getting pretty
on,
advanced
man.
so
Come on.
quickly.
It's getting pretty advanced.
No, man.
And the
It's
Matrix,
either-
what happened
it's
there?
gotta be
Just
the
AI got
it's
so
gotta-
advanced.
We're headed towards the Matrix or Terminator. Your pick.
Gosh, this is a tough
Why
one.
not both?
True. Oh well, Matrix, Terminator, or we might be hit by an apocalypse. We don't know. A virus
Essentially,
apocalypse.
virus, yeah. I would say essentially any of those options would be the apocalypse for us.
Who knows in this
It's
world?
not good. So let's stop it with AI, Let's just stop.
But
We
no,
can never-
great scene. Morpheus explaining the Matrix to Neo, and then he reveals what the world actually looks like, and it floors Neo. He was not believing that at all.
Made him quite sick too. Yeah, the robots win for a while.
So fast forward a little bit, and then we get into the cool part where he goes into the simulation program and he learns about kung fu.
This is some advanced stuff, They don't teach this stuff to anybody. You get
Yeah.
triple kicks.
They were doing a real homage to all kung fu movies
Yeah.
right there.
He was doing such a good job with mind games, telling him oh, it's that air you're breathing and stuff like that. Just messing with
Mhm.
him, trying to get him to understand that this isn't real. The reality is what you make it.
Which also
The
brings in a
Matrix
great
is-
point that we discussed about. Man, if that was true, if the Matrix was true, yo, man, I'm gonna need my brain to think of myself looking a little bit different with hair. Again, that'd be great.
Why am I not?
I mean-
why am I not Henry Cavill?
I think Cypher would agree with y'all. He said he wanted to go in rich.
Maybe it did work because now, there's a guy that I know is an actor. It's like Joe Pantoliano. He looks just like Cypher. Maybe he did get his wish.
Interesting questions. After that, we go into where Neo starts meeting the Oracle. Before they do that, Neo is up one night with Cypher. And Cypher is telling him some stuff. And it's kind of giving you hints that Cypher is kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, because he's I'd take the blue pill again. And man.
Well, he's also saying he doesn't believe Neo's the one. So he's kind of seeming like he's not for the team. He's against what the team wants and believes. So
And then he keeps trying
Yeah.
to mac on Trinity. Trinity's just not having it, man.
We also see a scene with Cypher in the Matrix.
With what appears to be a very delicious steak.
yes.
Basically wants to be just out of the whole group and go back into the Matrix. And he's willing to sell out whoever he needs to.
Because as he said, ignorance is bliss. You wish you had never known.
Yep. He says, it sucks here. I want to go back.
It's you're going to get plugged back into being a battery. He's like, yeah, no, that sounds perfect
Mm.
for me.
Yeah, he's like, fine.
But it's an interesting thing because they discussed the food thing, but they discussed it twice. Because where Mouse says, well, what is this supposed to taste like? How do the robots know what it's supposed to taste like? Maybe chicken's not supposed to taste like chicken, it's supposed to taste like corn, which gets in a very interesting conversation. How strong our mind is and the thoughts we have. In it, we've established the rules of the Matrix. If you're in the Matrix, you die in the Matrix, which is also another very cool and interesting thing. But skip forward, they're going to see the Oracle, and they have the whole thing. You meet the kid with the spoon, and how he says that you got to realize the spoon's not there. You got to bend your mind. Neo partially does it, and then looks away. Then the spoon's straight, which is kind of one of those cool parts. To eventually find out Neo is not the one, and Neo still doesn't really believe at this point. But Morpheus is very convinced, and she tells him that Morpheus will die in order to save Neo, and Neo must choose to either save Morpheus or save himself. While they're getting back, Cypher, who sold them out, he made a call and threw his phone in the trash earlier so that the agents could track their location. And then they see the deja vu part where it's two cats, and that means there's a glitch in the Matrix, which means something changed, and they trapped them in there.
So those guns that Mouse pulled out, I was like, yo, why didn't anybody else use those guns? Because I was like, yeah, he had a ton of bullets. He was gonna do some damage.
Unfortunately, Mouse is the first to go. But yeah, it's Cypher. All of it's Cypher's fault. because he's trying to give them Morpheus because the agents want Morpheus. Cypher's going to give him to him, and yeah, Cypher can kiss my ass. I can't stand him. Traitor. How dare you? How dare you? So he can be used as a battery? You fool.
I mean, but then again, he'll be living his life as a famous actor. They eventually get caught, and Morpheus sacrifices himself so that they can get Neo out of there. And again, they just wanted Morpheus because they want the codes to Zion. And
Zion,
if they get
Zion is the city, the human city
that have escaped the Matrix or been born outside. That's all they have. Gets back to the ship, and some killing starts. Cypher unplugs APOC and then Switch. Shoots Dozier and kills Dozier and shoots Tank, but only wounds Tank. He then has this long speech about how he was the one who betrayed him. He wished he could be there when Morpheus found out, when they got the codes from Morpheus, so Morpheus would know that he was the one. He said he was upset because he's also not free because all he does is what Morpheus wants him to do.
He sits in Morpheus's lap, which is certainly a choice.
I remember he says that if Neo really was the chosen one, something stop him from unplugging Neo, and sure enough, Tank was not nearly as hurt as we were led to believe, and he zaps and kills Cypher.
That he does.
Can't taste steak no more, can ya?
You can be free all you want. You dead, buddy. You dead.
Rest in peace.
Not a big fan, huh? Not a fan at all.
But he did some damage, so you gotta think about it for the connection. They just lost 4 people, right? He did a lot of damage then, so their numbers are dwindling.
And Morpheus is captured too.
And Morpheus is captured because Agent Smith wants to beat the brakes off him and get those codes.
Yeah, but during that time, it's kind of interesting because then Neo gets back because he reveals he's not the one. Trinity doesn't believe it because she doesn't want to admit to Neo that she's supposed to fall in love with the one, and she's starting to feel some feelings for him.
Oh, and she doesn't think Morpheus will be wrong.
Yes. They go to save Morpheus, and there's that scene where he says, "We need guns," and you see that whole thing load up of all the guns and everything, which is pretty cool that you can just kind of arm yourself that way. You get that cool fight scene, but
yeah, it's pretty
also
iconic fight scene. It's like the true first scene of like trench coat, sunglasses, gun, Neo.
And also like the slow-mo was used very well. That I think nowadays it's like way overplayed. You don't have slow-mo everything. Avatar Last Airbender. Sorry, I'm not over it. Very cool action, but over there, you see Morpheus and Agent Smith are discussing. Agent Smith brings up a point about humanity and what we are. That while we are classified as mammals, we really aren't. That he brings up the fact that we spread and take all the natural resources from any environment, multiplying ourselves. And once the natural resources are done, we then spread somewhere else for survival, that we are in fact a virus rather than mammals, which is a very interesting point of humanity.
Certainly a different perspective.
Which is funny because in the later movies we learn Agent Smith will spread himself like a virus because he wants to be one.
It all comes right around, huh?
Yep. It all comes together.
Which brings, I think this movie also brings out just larger theoretical points of with humans. And especially I could see with AI, how it would view us, of it kind of is a nice view of this is an AI, how would they view us, of probably more of as a virus and a stain.
I don't think it would look at us too well.
No, seeing all that we've caused. After that, they come and rescue Morpheus. And you have this scene where Morpheus is running through, he gets shot, and he can't make the jump, so Neo has to jump out and save him and grab him. And then they fly away, but the helicopter gets shot at. Essentially get out of that helicopter before it crashes. Neo saving Trinity. The agent starts shooting at Neo, and Neo's dodging the bullets. Which, can we talk about the calf strength you would have to bend back that far?
Yeah, pretty darn flexible.
I got a very tight back muscle, so my back ain't bending that far.
I've been worried about your damn hamstrings.
Yeah, your calves or hamstrings are going to be another thing I'm worried about.
But anyways, so we get the iconic scene where Neo dodges the bullets. He bends all the way back. And then right after that, eventually he does get hit in the leg with the 10th bullet or whatever. And then it looks like it's the end for Neo, but no. Badass Trinity's right there. It says, dodge this. Boom.
Only human. Dodge this.
one of the coolest scenes in the movie.
Great line. Well
Oh.
delivered, too. Very well delivered.
She was thinking of it while she knew she had to kill.
That's why she took the power stance.
No, yeah. She had planned it herself. Like, this guy don't even see me right here. I'm about to have this is going to be a real cool moment. So, fast forward, as they're in the train station, they're teleporting back to the real world. The agent finds them and goes into the body of the homeless man. And while Trinity is over there stalling because she won't just tell Neo, hey, I love you, and taking her sweet old time of like, let's prolong how long we're in this matrix, even though we know agents are after us. Instead of just getting back to the world, then I could probably tell you.
Well, as we found, that was just a personality trait of hers.
Take your sweet time. It's cool. Basically, the phone is destroyed from Agent, and Neo, at this point, instead of running, fights the Agent, which he was told earlier, nobody who has ever fought an Agent has ever survived.
Never.
Every single person has died when fighting an Agent.
But guess what? The Agent ain't ever fought the one.
After they fight, when they're fighting, they get knocked on. They go to the tracks of the train station. The train's coming, and Agent Smith's trying to kill Neo by holding him there and going to let the train hit him, thus killing him. And Neo says, as he keeps calling Mr. Anderson, he says, "No, my name is Neo." Boom, jumps up, hits him against the wall, and then does a flip back to avoid the train. Agent Smith has teleported into another body. And finally, with him getting to the room where the phone is ringing, and Agent Smith is there and shoots him multiple times, thus killing him. Dun, dun, dun.
End.
Yeah, it's a movie. But what happens is Vitamin J.
Trinity gives him a little smooch.
After a nice speech revealing that she loves the one and that he is the one because she loves him, comes back to life, and everything that Morpheus predict or showed him is true. Neo says, "What, you tell me I'm going to be fast enough to dodge bullets?" And Morpheus said something along the lines that you won't need to dodge them. And he stops the bullets. As the agents were walking away, turned back to see he's still alive. He stopped all the bullets mid-air. So Agent Smith runs out, trying to fight him. Neo pretty much is moving so fast, Agent Smith can't put a finger on him. And he even turns and does that cool, like, one hand, I'm just going to fight you with one hand because I'm so much superior to you.
The other agents looking at him, laughing at him.
Oh, they clowning him. They clown him like, this guy, I thought he was good, huh? He always acts like the superior agent. Then Neo jumps in him, kills him. The other agents just run away.
Of all the things Agent Smith thought Neo was going to do at that moment, he did not think he was going to go inside him and then essentially explode him from the inside out.
How did Neo know he had that power? Who knows? He's just the one.
He's the one, yeah. And the other two agents did as I would do if I saw someone just went inside another person and made him explode. I'm getting out of there.
And then Neo picks up the phone. They put on the EMP. And boom, they destroy all the Sentinels. It goes back to Neo is alive. He made it out in time. The scene then goes to Neo on the phone, basically telling how he's coming after, warning the agents in the program that he knows the truth. He's ready. He's embraced it.
He is straight up talking shit to the robots. He's saying, we're going to get you. We're going to destroy you. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm that guy.
He is the one, truly. And he flies off at the very end of the movie.
Yep, he flies off like Superman.
After everything, like, how was the rewatch after not seeing it for multiple? Because I haven't seen it probably for 2 years, 2-3 years.
Oh man, this rewatch, man, really took me back. Oh man, yeah, the good days, yeah.
I'm going to slap you. No, it was good. I haven't seen that in a long time, so I liked it. But it did still remind me they had such great opportunity in their hands with this movie. Could have been a great franchise, but it teetered out so quick. None of the sequels match up anywhere close to this.
It still holds up. Still tell a story.
CGI actually,
I
like,
love it,
if you remember for '99, yeah, it's pretty good, and it's better than some stuff today. And this was made in '99.
It's definitely dated in spots, but it's forgivable.
I think the cultural impact this movie had is pretty big and still felt through movies today.
Yeah, it definitely made a big impact.
All right, so what's our rating out of 10?
8.5.
About 9.
8.75.
8.75, man.
This isn't pricing right.
7.5, 7.75 range.
I think he actually thinks it's lower than that.
No, like I said, 7.75. Yeah, I'll get 7.75.
So, Matrix If you haven't rewatched it in a while, please go rewatch it. It's really good. Still a solid movie. Thank you all for watching. That is the end of our rewatch. Again, let us know if you have any suggestions. We will put it on the list. As you all know, my name's Legacy. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby, and John Wick is better.
I mean, it's true. It is true, though.
Can't end the podcast. And may the discussions begin.